Broadcasting live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Here's your host, Andrew Romanella.
Okay? Just get the hell out of here. Nobody cares what you think if you're not a Mets fan.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into a Tuesday edition of The Rome Show, broadcasting live on youtube.com/The Romanellas, Twitter X, Instagram, and Facebook.com/The Rome Show. I'm Andrew Romanella. I got you for the next 30 minutes or so. It's 7:15 in the state of New Jersey, December 16th, and there is so much to talk about today, including the Miami Dolphins officially being eliminated from playoff contention last night with a 28-15 loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers. If you listened to yesterday's show, even more specifically, just the last 5 minutes of yesterday's show, I told you, and I've been telling you, that this is what the Miami Dolphins were going to do. So I need a little bit of a therapy session with the people out there today. I hope you're ready for that. It's a Rome Show Christmas Day number 5. Yeah. We got another giveaway for the people here today. I think it's a pretty easy question. I don't know. I thought they all were pretty easy. We've had 3 winners out of the 4 days. We have a giveaway today. We have a giveaway on Thursday. And then I will send out our contestant winners. Also, don't forget about the contest, going on online right now, looking for the green social media post that you want to reshare that post, and you want to make sure you're following The Rome Show 1 on Twitter X and Instagram, The Rome Show, then the number 1 on Twitter X and Instagram, and the Romanellas on YouTube. That's an easy one. Type in the Romanellas on YouTube, hit subscribe, like, comment, love all of the content. We'll get into Monday Night Football. We'll get into the NBA Cup. The NBA Cup Finals is tonight. And I got a bunch of different around the league notes for the people. I have to say this before I get going here, because I don't know if any of my listeners out there play in an adult sports league. Over the last 2 months, 2 to 3 months, I have picked up playing roller hockey. So I have joined a roller hockey league. We play games once a week. Generally, games are on Sunday evenings or Monday evenings. And it has been a blast, okay? If you subscribe to the Romanellas and you listen to the Locker Room to Life podcast, we just put out episode 3 the other day, and we actually talk about this in episode 3 of the Locker Room to Life podcast. But I don't tell all of you that to shamelessly plug the Locker Room to Life podcast. I tell you that because I joined a second league. Okay, so this is how it works with Andrew. Okay, he gets involved, he's excited, then all of a sudden he's knee deep in the entire thing. So not only, okay, am I playing men's league roller hockey, I'm now in 2 separate leagues. Okay, playing pretty well, must I add. Check out the inline Morristown stats if you want to get an idea how the kid is with the stick in his hand. But I won the wood. We talked about this a few weeks ago on my one team. So last night, team number 2 had opening night, okay? And we had to play at 11:20. 11:20 p.m. We played roller hockey last night, okay? The rink's about 40 minutes away from my house. Got home at about 1:30 in the morning. I am feeling it right now. And I don't know how many out there, okay, are going to agree with me, or how many are going to tell me I don't know what you're talking about. But I'm only 35. But as you get older in this life, okay, you take a minute, an ounce of sleep away from your regular schedule as an adult, and oh my God, does it feel like you got hit by a train? I cannot believe some of the things we did in college, lack of sleep wise, with how I feel doing the radio show this morning. And my right hip, wow, is it sore. So the men's league sports are really hitting me right now. Be safe out there if you're playing your men's league roller hockey league. Let's get into the show. Let's start with some trivia, okay? It's a Rome show Christmas. It's trivia time. You got a chance to win the hoodie on screen, okay? We got a few different colors of that hoodie on screen. Nonetheless, it's a hoodie in its own right. I'm wearing it right now. I freaking love this hoodie. Yes, I am biased, but it is a fantastic hoodie. All right, here we go. So, the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are both 7-7. That is a 500 record for those counting at home. I would like to know who was the last team to win a conference title, division title, excuse me. I'm in college sports mindset right now. Who was the last NFL team to win a division title at or under 500? Your hint is that it happened nearly a decade ago. That's your time period, okay? It's recent, but it's not too recent, okay? So if you can write in, head to Instagram, The Rome Show 1, Twitter X, The Rome Show 1, The Romanella's on YouTube, and or The Rome Show on Facebook. Last NFL team to win the division, 500 or worse. First person to write in with that answer will be the winner of the Rome Show Day 5 giveaway. It looks like Jeff Beck Wellness writes in, I play USTA men's tennis. They will often have 9 p.m. starts, and the road team travels an hour, sometimes an hour and a half. Got home at 1 a.m. once and had a 5:15 alarm for work. Jeff, dude, you might be doing some wellness consultations with some people over the fact that we might be crazy that we do this to ourselves. I got to be honest with you. It's the most fun I've ever had. Jeff, thank you for writing in. It's so, I love it, but the game times, man. And the funny part about it is you're sitting there on the bench in like the second period and you're like, we all have work, like everyone. I'm not the only one for the most part. We all got work tomorrow. It's unbelievable, Jeff. And an away game too, man. Like we only go to the same, we go to one rink, you know? So I'm going to the same rink for these games, for this team, whatever. But the travel, whoo, I haven't done that since I was playing travel ice hockey. And that was a lot on the schedule. Again, if you know the answer to this question, who is the last team in the NFL to make it to the postseason, to win a division at under or at 500? Last night, the Dolphins had the chance to go to 500 as they were playing in Pittsburgh against the Steelers. And unfortunately, the Miami Dolphins were unable to keep their season alive. The Steelers, they won this game 28-15. It was not a pretty football game by any stretch of the imagination, but it got the job done for Pittsburgh, who improves to 8-6 on the season. And with the loss, the magical, if that's what you want to call it, run for the Miami Dolphins comes to a close. They are now 6-8 and officially eliminated from playoff contention. The victory last night was the 23rd straight victory for the Pittsburgh Steelers on Monday Night Football. That is a ridiculous statistic if you think about it. Some talk before the game. Of course, it's been talk for a few weeks now, ever since Pittsburgh Steelers fans decided to boo Mike Tomlin when he is the last person that should be booed in the National Football League. Mike Tomlin has an option on March 1st of 2026. Okay, so truthfully, he is coaching in the last few months of his deal, or the last few months of his deal with which Pittsburgh soon can decide they don't want in on this. So Mike Tomlin, who is already a Hall of Fame head coach, I think can coach even more free and easy going into the last few weeks, knowing, well, I mean, the fan base already wants my head. I have an option for March 1st from the organization. It has been a little stale here, but we are also in position to win a division. So what the hell do I care? And if I don't continue on here, I'm going to get a job like that. And the Pittsburgh Steelers came out last night. They handled business. It was a slow start to this thing. It was 0-0 till about 6 minutes left in the first half when the Dolphins were able to put a field goal up on the board. And then from there, the Pittsburgh Steelers went on to score 28. You heard that correctly. 28 unanswered points before the Dolphins could get themselves back on the board. And like we've been saying, as the Miami Dolphins have done the last 3 seasons, they have this midpoint of the season where they get you all excited. You think they have a chance to make the postseason. All they got to do is win one game to really actually make it a thing. Like the last few weeks, it's been like, okay, maybe. All right, maybe. All right, maybe if they get to Monday Night Football against the Steelers, they'll be good and they could make it to the postseason. And then bang, we suck again. Yeah, you know, water boy, that guy. Oh, no, we suck again. That's the Miami Dolphins. And that's how quick it happens. And that's what happened last night. The last thing I'll say on this game, because it's not necessarily worthy of us spending that much more time on it, okay? The Steelers defense, without their best player in TJ Watt, played possibly their best game of the season. This is one of those teams that I feel like when the weather gets colder, they play better. And the Steelers looked a whole lot better last night on defense. If Aaron Rodgers can sling the rock to the tune of 23 of 27, 222, and 224 and 2 touchdowns, not turn the football over, and DK Metcalf and Freiermuth and Valdez Scantling and Gainwell and this eclectic group of weapons can continue to spread the wealth, this could be an offense that is a little scary when going. But it's a team that has to be led by their defense. There's no way around it. When I watched that Steelers team last night, I said they have flashes, but they're playing a semi-decent football team. Against the best teams in this league, I don't know if this is going to work. And on the flip side, you answer the question of, is this our head coach moving forward? I know for a fact this is not our quarterback moving forward. I know for a fact that since Tua Tagovailoa has been here, the Miami Dolphins have made the playoffs twice. 2022, he wasn't even the quarterback for that postseason. It was Skylar Thompson. Yeah, him and Teddy Bridgewater were unhealthy for that postseason. Then 2023, and now for the last 2 seasons, it has been the exact opposite of what it should be. I don't know if you go in there and you go, oh, Mike McDaniels is the problem. He has a lot to blame. He's the head ball coach. I do think, though, you need a new quarterback inside this locker room. You're not going to be able to be an explosive enough offense with Tua Tagovailoa behind center. It's like playing with Chad Pennington. He's going to make throws, intermediate throws. Hopefully he doesn't turn that. That's the other problem. He turns the ball over too much. Chad Pennington, at least when he was in his few good years, didn't turn the ball over. You can't be dynamic with him under center. And I think the fate for the quarterback position of the Miami Dolphins has been signed, sealed, and delivered. It's a Rome Show Christmas today, ladies and gentlemen. It's the 5th day of our Christmas giveaway here. And the trivia question you are looking to answer is, what is the last team to win an NFL division at 500 or worse? Last NFL team to win a division 500 or worse. It looks like C Court 30 writes it in on Instagram. It is the Carolina Panthers. C Court 30 with his second victory in as many weeks If you were wondering, the 2014 Carolina Panthers won the division with Cam Newton under center at a record of 7-8-1. How about that atrocity of a record? The 2014 Carolina Panthers were what you were looking for on that. To answer, C Court 30, avid listener to the show, we thank you for writing in. We thank you for tuning in. It looks like you might have just gotten your beautiful wife a Rome Show hoodie as well. We'll take a quick commercial break here on this Tuesday edition of the Rome Show. When we get back, we talk NBA Cup, Knicks versus Spurs, and we go around the professional leagues. Andrew Romanella, the Rome Show. Back after this. Stay with us.
What is one thing every great leader has in common? They challenge their people to not stop at the first right answer. Tighten the Lug Nuts is a leadership book that will teach you how to move past the first right answer with entertaining and detailed examples founded in real-world concepts and experiences. Accelerate towards your professional goals with Tighten the Lug Nuts, one of the best leadership books available.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, welcome back into the Rome Show. We broadcast live on youtube.com/the Romanellas. That is youtube.com/the Romanellas. Get in on the action. You can comment live. C Court 30 fired up about winning himself another hoodie. We'll have to get him another color combo. I got to be honest with you. We might have we've been talking about beer league sports, adult league sports here to start the show. We might have a trivia master here in C Court 30. Every time I put up a trivia question, this guy's got the answers, and it's not for the other people trying. Okay. There were a lot of Seattle Seahawk responses there. And I think what we are mistaking is the Marshawn Lynch Seattle Seahawks run that shocked the New Orleans Saints when the Seattle Seahawks were an under 500 or an at 500 team to have won their division. That was the run. Remember that? He blew through somebody and then he threw into the end zone all excited. Marshawn Lynch, man. What a guy. That's a dude. If I could choose a teammate who I'd want to play football with, anyone in the history of the National Football League that I would want to be a teammate with, I would have to put Marshawn Lynch at the top of that list. Recently, with old man Rivers playing quarterback for the Colts and them showing a lot of the clips of the crap talking he did in his career, I kind of want to be involved in that too. I don't want to necessarily be on the opposite side of it. I'm good playing against that crap, but it's got to be semi-enjoyable when you're on the field sometimes and he just gets a guy going over some dumb stuff. Dadgummit. Yeah, dadgummit, right? It's just there are certain people that they make the team better by just their personality, let alone their sports playing ability. Victor Wembanyama did that for the San Antonio Spurs the other night, going into the semifinal matchup of the NBA Cup. The OKC Thunder were on a 16-game winning streak. They were 24-1. If they won that game, they would have started out the best in NBA history, I think. Either way, they tied the best 25-game start in NBA history with the Golden State Warriors, okay, from about 7 to 10 years ago. Victor Wembanyama comes back after being out for 12, 13 games and propels his team to a semifinal victory in the NBA Cup against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And this might not seem like a big victory to the common NBA watcher, because the common NBA watcher might enjoy what's going on with the NBA Cup, but might not feel like there's that much stakes on it for it to be that important of a game for Wembanyama. But the facts are the facts. In Victor Wemby's 3 years in the league, he has not played meaningful games. The Spurs have not been good enough to be in the play-in tournament, let alone the postseason. He's also been hurt. He finished the last half of the year on the IL last year. So for Victor Wembanyama, coming off an injury too, by the way, and for his team to prove, A, we can play really good basketball without you, and we can play just as good a basketball with you, goes to show you how good this team is. But that was a moment right there. It might have been a mini moment. It might not have been the moment the Spurs fans been looking for since he was drafted. That's coming in the playoffs. That's coming in the NBA Finals, they hope. But it was a moment. It was a moment for Wemby, for Stephen Castle, for this Spurs team to be like, yo, we're here. We are a good basketball team. We've been a good basketball team all year. This thing's been brewing, and we're ready to show the world. So let's go out and kick in the doors of the best team right now and prove to people we can do this. For OKC, it's nothing merely than their second loss in 26 games. We're good. We'll bounce back. But for the Spurs, gigantic. On the flip side, the other thing that's huge about this NBA Cup in-season tournament thing is we talk a lot about the contracts being paid out to the largest players in the league. But the NBA Cup is a financial flexibility, if won, for some of these players. Here is a breakdown of what the NBA Cup money situation is based on the rounds your team makes it to. So if your team makes it to the quarterfinals, each player on your team is receiving a $53,093 bonus. That is huge for majority of the players. Like I said, a lot of what we debate on is the minority. The superstars, the stars, they're going to get paid. That's in every league, no matter the salary caps, the contracts, none of that. But it's the 95%, the league minimum guys, the veterans exceptions guys, the guys trying to hang on, the guys trying to create a career. It's those dudes that this 53,000, if you make it to the quarterfinals, is gigantic. If you make it to the semifinals, your payout is $106,187 per player. And if you make it to the finals, the payout's even greater. It's $500,000, $530,933 per player if you make it to the finals. So if you're wondering why or how is anyone getting behind the NBA Cup, that's why and how. Because there's actually something on it. And for a lot of these players on either side, whether it's the Knicks tonight or the Spurs, a lot of these players, especially the ones you don't really know their name, this is life-changing money, at least season-changing money. $530,000 to win an in-season basketball tournament? I'm down. Sign me up right now. People love money. They love money. They love respect. And those are the two things you're playing for in the NBA Cup. And I think I've heard some different suggestions about what else you could win or what else you could get or how could you make it more exciting for the fans. I think what they're doing next year, which is removing the NBA Cup finals from Las Vegas and putting it back in the home stadiums, I think that's a great move. Okay? Because I guess the 8 games over the last 3 years that have housed the NBA Cup in Las Vegas have had a brutal set of attendance. Okay? Whereas the NBA Cups at home with the crazy floors or whatever you want to liken it to have had great attendance and a great appeal to the fan. So next year, the NBA Cup is being moved from Las Vegas in terms of the quarters, the semis, and the finals, And I think those things are going to happen at the team's home stadium, which I think is a fantastic idea. In terms of tonight's contest, here is the breakdown. Two very similar teams going head-to-head in the NBA Cup Finals tonight. You have the New York Knicks. The Knicks are sitting atop, not fully atop, the Eastern Conference, but in second place with an 18-7 record, just 2.5 games behind the Detroit Pistons. They're currently on a 5-game winning streak, 9-1 in their last 10 games. By the way, whoever thought I would have said that, huh? 2.5 games behind the Detroit Pistons for number 1 in the East? Yeah, you heard that correctly. The Spurs, they're sitting in the 4 spot, nearly identical record, 18-7 in the Western Conference, tied with the Lakers, 1 game behind the Nuggets, and 5.5 back from the aforementioned league's best Oklahoma City Thunder. Neither of these teams are elite defensively, but both of these teams are elite offensively, averaging 114 points per if you're the Spurs and 117 points per if you're the Knicks. Both of them shoot the lights out of the gym. 47% for the Spurs from the field, 36.5% from beyond the arc, where it's the Knicks, it's 48 and it's 37.5 on the final side. Okay. Both teams 14 or less turnovers per game. So you are going to look at what's the common adage? This is a heavyweight matchup. You know, there's going to go punch for punch, punch for punch. That is what I think you're going to watch in the NBA Cup tonight. But I got to tell you, I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it for 2 reasons. The first one is the sanctity of the NBA Cup. I have enjoyed what they've done. I might have been, probably still am in some ways, someone that crushes the NBA for a lot of the things that they do. But this I think they got very right. The second reason why I'm excited is because these are 2 really good basketball teams. It's a parity-driven time in the National Basketball Association. We talked about this the other day, the Rome Show podcast, wherever you listen to your podcast. It's parity-driven all across the National Basketball Association. Okay. And these 2 teams, though everyone, it feels like, has a chance to win it, could be who you see in the NBA Finals in April. These 2 teams are good enough. And these 2 teams have some fun talent to watch. Just the 2 guys alone that I mentioned from both sides of the fence, Brunson and Wemby. And then the second guy, the Robin to the Batman, that Karl Anthony Towns, the Stephen Castle. Great players all over this game. The Knicks, they're favored by 2.5. They're at home, though it's in Las Vegas. I'm going to take the Knicks, and I'm going to take them with the 2.5 in this game. I feel like it would be awesome for the Knicks, who haven't won a championship since the 60s. I know this isn't an NBA title, but boy, wouldn't that be a nice first step for this group that got to the Eastern Conference finals last year, for this group of Knickerbockers that people believe could be good enough to compete for a title. I think a good stop along the way would be winning the NBA Cup. I say this about college basketball and college baseball all the time. We might be in the tournament, but why not win the conference tournament on the way? I think that's a really good place to jump off from when you go into the final depths of your season and you're looking to win the truest of championships. This is the truest of the Rome Show here on a Tuesday, September 16th, 2025. We're 1 minute away from the final segment of the day. Stick with us here. We'll be right back, broadcasting live on YouTube, Twitter X, and Instagram. Andrew Romanella.
What is one thing every great leader has in common? They challenge their people to not stop at the first right answer. Titan Malugnuts is a leadership book that will teach you how to move past the first right answer with entertaining and detailed examples founded in real-world concepts and experiences. Accelerate towards your professional goals with Titan Malugnuts, one of the best leadership books available.
It's the Rome Show!
Yeah, the Rome Show. We broadcast live on youtube.com/the Romanellas, Twitter X, and Instagram, the Rome Show 1, facebook.com/the Rome Show. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you support. So much you can do for the show. You saw the commercial. You want to be a commercial, be a commercial. You want to buy a hoodie, buy a hoodie. Do all the things, people. Support the show. We need you. Congrats to C Court 30 winning the giveaway. We got one more. Here's your schedule coming up on Thursday. Let's go around the leagues, ladies and gentlemen. Some topics for you on a Tuesday. Let's get it started. Patrick Mahomes, Micah Parsons. Bad news, torn ACLs for both of them. They underwent season-ending surgery. Luckily, it doesn't look like either of them completely tore up their leg, but nonetheless, two of the best players in the league out for the rest of the year. We wish them the best recovery. The NBA, we just finished talking about it. The trade window is open. That starts a 7-week window where NBA trades can begin to go on. That ends on February 5th. So it's that time of year. Is your team good enough? Are we going to be a contender, or are we going to be a seller? Big factor in this entire thing is the fact that 20 teams technically make postseason play. Not the playoffs. We're not talking about the playoffs. Postseason play, meaning 8 teams enter the NBA play-in tournament. So it changes whether or not you're going to consider yourself someone that needs to sell or someone that needs to buy. But nonetheless, the NBA trade craziness has officially begun. Connor Bedard, another superstar on the IR. I don't know what's going on this week, but Connor Bedard of the Chicago Blackhawks, unfortunately, is headed to the IR. He's week to week with, as hockey people call it, an upper body injury. Man, I love that so much. Like in every other sport, it's like you have to be so specific. If you go to hockey, it's like he hurt something. Why? Because he hurt it. Oh, okay. So he's on the IL? Yeah, he is. Okay, sounds good. And that's it. Connor Bedard hurt his right shoulder, getting smoked in a game, but you're not going to know that if you read the injury report. He has 31 games played this season, 19 goals, 25 assists for a total of 44 points. Connor Bedard leading the Blackhawks. They'll try and stay afloat while he is on IR. The Buffalo Sabres, they fired their general manager, Kevin Adams, okay, after 5+ seasons. This little graphic on your screen essentially tells you how poor he was at his job. In the 5.5 years that Adams led the Buffalo Sabres, they finished no better than 20th in the league, and they are currently sitting tied for the fewest points in the league with a 14-14-2 record and 32 total points. Jarman Kekalainen, if I said that correctly, will take over as the general manager of the Buffalo Sabres and look to steer this ship in the right direction. It has been a tough run at it for an elite hockey and fanship city. Finally, Cooper Flagg, number 1 overall pick in this year's NBA draft, became the youngest player in NBA history to score 40+ or more points, 18 years, 359 days. Flagg scored 42 points, had 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. Last night, the Mavericks lost. Shocker, no shocker there, in overtime, though Flagg broke a record. Those are your news and notes. Tuesday topics, if I may, from around our favorite sports leagues. You might be wondering, Where's Rocky? It's Tuesday. No hockey with Rocky. Well, he might have had an 11:30 game last night. Who knows? Okay. But Rocky will be joining us tomorrow or Thursday to give you his Hockey with Rocky segment. So don't you worry, people. Okay. He'll be here for you to talk ice and puck. I am gone for now, but I'll be back tomorrow to continue talking about all the latest in the sports. Andrew Romanella, the Rome Show. Thanks for tuning in today on a Tuesday. Remember, if you're playing your men's league sports, be safe out there. Okay. Make sure those games aren't too late at night. It's a killer, and get your sleep. All right. It only gets worse as you get older. Congrats to C Court 30 for winning himself another giveaway. One more giveaway Thursday. Man, that's exciting. Not as exciting as you having an electric day. Peace.